Hello and welcome to this very special interview. I am here with IGP Kinteh to talk to him about the happenings. Of course, the latest is his resignation as the IGP of the Gambia Police Force. As you are all aware, recently, just a few days ago, there was an incident in Faraba Banta that resulted to 3 people being killed. And your men were involved. IGP, welcome to this special interview.
Yeah, thank you, Fatou. Thank you.
So tell us, let's go straight to the point. Why did you resign?
Well, Fatou, you said it all. Given the recent incident in Faraba Banta, where my men, that is the PIU officers, the people that are found wanting with regards to what had happened there, even though the investigations are underway.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you what actually happened. No one can tell you what happened. Maybe the investigation will reveal what actually happened.
Yeah.
All we know that there were casualties, and it is said that the PIU are the ones responsible. I think everything will be clear when the investigations are done. But I feel as a leader, they call it command responsibility. Even though I took no part in whatever might have led to that situation. I feel, this is why I should just step aside, yes. 2 things
in the same question. You said you took no part.
Yes.
Can you clarify on that? Who ordered the shots? Who ordered for people to fire?
Yeah.
But before we even get to who ordered for the firing of shots, who ordered for live ammunitions, live bullets to be taken out of the armory or wherever they are saved to give order to take these things out? Because normally when we have demonstrations, there are rubber bullets that normally PIU officers should use. But who ordered for them to take live bullets? Did you order that, IGP?
No, I did not. I did not order any taking of live bullets. But what I can tell you is, because there seems to be a lot of confusion here.
Yes.
The PIU is the armed wing of the police.
Yes.
Arms are part of their uniforms. Any deployment that they are doing, they must go with arms.
They must go with arms.
Yes. So they found themselves in that riot situation. And when you are preparing for a riot, and as much as you go with non-lethal arms or weapons, you also go with a lethal weapon in case, because a riotous situation can turn into something else as a backup.
Yeah.
But what might have happened in this case is the place they went to is a guard post where it was manned by armed officers.
Yeah.
In normal circumstances. They are the ones that were under threat, and they got a backup.
Yeah.
The backup team came there. Of course there will be arms, because when they were manning the guard post, they were armed. And which is very normal. So it is a mixture of the reinforcement team and the guards that were on the ground, yes, who were armed as at the time. But then, I don't want to delve into some of those issues, because this is a subject of investigation.
Yeah.
So we don't want to preempt any investigation, but yeah, something like this.
Something like this. But IGP also, something that people also said was the incident, obviously, that happened in Faraba, you don't want to, well, you resigned, but you said as the head of the department.
Yes.
But the Interior Minister is the head of the unit.
Yes.
So why does it have to be you alone? Where you found one thing, do you feel that when investigations are finished, you're going to be found one thing?
I very much believe, and I'm optimistic, that the investigations will never find me one thing.
Yeah.
In the first place, Fatou, on the day of the incident,
yeah.
I got to know like any other person, because under normal circumstances, I'm the person that is supposed to know first.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to travel out of the country on that day. I was supposed to go to the United States at the UN Police Chiefs Conference, and then I was supposed to fly out through Dakar. So on that morning, I was on my way to the office, then also to proceed to Dakar, where I should take my flight from. So it was when I entered the vehicle that I saw a missed call from one of my officers. I called. He said, well, I called you just to tell you that the Interior Minister called me to inform me that there's an incident in Faraba, and then...
Meaning the Interior Minister knew before you?
Yes, knew before me.
Okay.
And then there's an incident in Faraba, and then I responded that, yes, we know, we've already deployed people to go and arrest the situation. Okay. That was the first time I knew there was an incident.
There was a deployment before you knew?
Yeah, before I knew.
Okay.
So actually I went to the office. When I got to the office, we were, watching what was unfolding there. I told them, well, in the circumstance, I don't think it's prudent for me to travel. So I asked the admin officer to look at how we can cancel the ticket and all that. And I said, I don't think it's possible for me to travel. And then after that, we were called for consultation. So before you know, the day is done, so the traveling is cancelled. Yes. So that is it. And then in a variety of situations also, before you resort to use of lethal weapons, there are procedures that you should follow on the ground.
Yeah.
And the procedure requires that you report to your immediate supervisor, who reports to the other supervisor up to the highest level.
Yeah.
So that the use of lethal weapons or firearms can be sanctioned. But that was not done in this case. So like I said, it's an investigation, and then hopefully the investigation will get to the bottom. But in a preliminary discussion we had with the men, they confirmed that what they did, they did it on their own. You know, it's by their own initiative. Nobody ordered them, which is very clear, to use the firearms. So the circumstances that made them to do it, I think the investigation would definitely reveal.
But if you know this already, why would you resign now when the police force at this point needed a leadership, a strong leadership, especially when you were here when this incident happened? Would it have not been better to wait until the investigations were done to resign? At this point, you're leaving the police department at a shattered, at a state where I don't know.
It's a heavy heart that we have to do this. You call it command.
Oh, were you pressured to resign?
No, I was not pressured to resign.
Okay.
As a matter of principle, I decided to resign. It's with a heavy heart that I am doing this. But actually, what warranted to me doing what I did is as a result of what they call command responsibility, regardless of the fact that you are directly involved or not. You know, some of these responsibilities as a leader, you have to take them when they come.
Yeah.
So I think in the exercise of that spirit of leadership, that is what warranted me to resign. And coupled with the fact that there's a lot of tension in the country, people are asking for my head, you know, for reasons best known to them.
People are asking for your head?
For reasons best known to them. You know, and then,
wow.
You know, I think it's also a very saddening moment in the country. We need healing in this country. And I think I should be part of that healing. A lot of tension is mounting. If at all my resignation will add to that healing, why not? Why not me? I don't know of the others, but for me, I think this is the ultimate sacrifice I can make for myself, my country. And of course, on behalf of the people that lost their lives in that senseless killing that happened in Faraba. Yes.
People called for the resignation of the Interior Minister too, because if the IGP should go. Yes. In fact, I had an interview with the Interior Minister, and I said a lot of people called for your resignation, yourself and the IGP. Are you going to resign? So, do you also have are you of the belief that the Interior Minister should also resign? I
think this is a personal thing. Like I told you, this is my personal commitment. It is left to the Interior Minister to decide whether to resign in the circumstance or not. I cannot decide for him. But I think, you know, this is a personal issue. For me, I think it's more prudent in the circumstance to tender my resignation. And I did that early this morning. And
did you consult anybody before you do it? How did you come to that decision?
Of course, we all belong to families, we have friends, you know. Sometimes some of these decisions you tend to consult people close to you. But when it happened, a lot of people are coming and saying, oh, why didn't you consult further? We did consult. Probably the consultation, the scope was not wider. But then we decided to consult the people close to us, the family, friends, and all that. And then I think they don't have any issues with it. Just like when I was appointed, before I accepted the appointment, I did some consultation. There was a division between family and friends. Some said take it, some said don't take it. So the same thing with this one also. But then after you get all the advices, you know, you as a person, you can take a decision on your own. And that's exactly what I did.
Kinteh, I want to come back to the incident itself. This incident happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
It was not a today incident.
Yes.
And then a lot of people blame the police force. One, when it happened, there was some clashes between the people and the police, the community, and people said the IGP's office played a role of intermediating. Why would the IGP do that? And also, you placed the office of the IGP or the police force had a post there, and they were directly guarding the Julake mining site. you know, a lot of people faulted your department for that. This was something that was between the community and the business person. And people thought there was so much interest coming from the police to protect this businessman.
There is no interest to protect Julake. The role of the police is to protect life and property, regardless of whose property it is. Yes.
Yeah.
For your information, this is not the first time we are intervening in such situations. We had communal classes, you know, where individuals are concerned in various parts of the country, including even Bakote here with one of the property companies, where the youths, you know, said, you know, a certain property would not be used as a, you know, property development or whatever. They want to use it as a football field. So Julake is not the first person. We are just exercising our rightful role in trying to protect life and property. Julake was going to do this without our intervention, but when, you know, people started destroying lives and property, we feel it is important for us to go there and try to sanitize and maintain peace in the place. And don't forget, we are also enforcing the laws of this country. Julake got what he got by virtue of the laws of the country, which says that if you are issued with a mining license, you can mine in a designated place. So if the laws of this country are violated, when this person passed through all the process, and yet there are people who are saying that that cannot happen,
the police need
and
to protect
up to the extent of destroying property, of course the police have to come to the aid of that person, and also to the aid of the community also, because in any skirmish or trouble, even those who are causing the trouble may harm themselves. You know? So this is the role of the police. We're just trying to play our rightful role. But then it could be better actually, because if you ask me, I think the other stakeholders have not played their rightful role. You know,
like other stakeholders, like who?
Like I would say, like the local authorities on the ground and the region itself, because police, time and again I said it, we see ourselves as being mediators and also people intervening. Some of these issues, I think we are supposed to be the last people to come in. In fact, we come in when, you know, the situation cannot be controlled. I know a lot of things could have taken place to avert our intervention. But do you know, I had to take it upon myself to organize a meeting of other stakeholders at the police headquarters, because it has become a problem for us. Because we are the ones that are seen as the people going to intervene. So all the things that need to be done, you know, nobody cares about them. They only care about the after effect. That is our intervention. And then everything is on our head if anything goes wrong. So, but we are caught up between not doing anything and also doing something, and something happens and then it's on our head. So this is a problem. I think the other stakeholders and the institutions need to step up. When communal classes or disputes happen, they step up and try to be at the forefront. You know, that way we will have little or no issue in terms of coming. Because you had a lot of issues. We heard of the Taiba incident, the Taiba and Medina in the Woodleys. There we had to intervene and deploy. But if the communities were able to, through the local authorities, were able to mediate and douse the tensions, there wouldn't be any need for us to go. The Tanene issue is also another example. Yes. All these issues are happening in regions and communities where there are other institutions that could better mediate and come to terms with these issues without the police coming in. But we see ourselves day by day, you know, being the people, first responders, just because other stakeholders are not stepping up in regards to their mediation role, and, you know, some of the, you know, AORs or things are attributed to them. So I think these are the issues. I think
this particular issue, though, for the past couple of weeks, it's over 2 weeks. You have been doing a lot of mediation. Personally, you've been blamed for leading the mediation efforts. You had called the community. We spoke to the community. You had called the community several times to sit on a round table with the businessman to look for ways of working this particular issue out. But what a lot of people said was you played a very pivotal role in bringing a negotiation between the two parties. But at some point, like you said, the police are there to protect lives and citizens. But at some point, as a law enforcement body as well, when the National Assembly gave they visited the site and they gave orders for Julake to cease operations. that we would have expected the police would have also enforced that, because they made an enforcement by stopping, allowing Julake to continue because he was ordered, he had the license to operate. But when the National Assembly, which is a higher body, and gave orders for Julake to cease operation, he did not. And the police did not enforce that. Why didn't the police enforce that? That could have averted this issue.
Fatou, I'm happy you raised that issue.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any order from the National Assembly, and I'm not aware of that mandate of theirs where they can stop an ongoing process that is mandated by the law of this country. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just getting to hear that the National Assembly gave an order for Julake Mining Company to stop. I think it would have been prudent if that is going to happen. Yeah. It is done through the geology department. This is the department
and
that
be sent to the IGP's
and
office.
The IGPs will be informed. But this was not done. So if at all there is any order of that nature, I'm hearing it for the first time, or let me say rather, when this incident happened, that's the time.
The time you're hearing that,
yes. And for your information, I'm happy you raised the issue of the National Assembly. The preliminary information we are getting on the ground, this incident was triggered by that same information that the National Assembly gave.
That's what triggered it,
Yes, the youths went to the base, the guard post, and told the officers that no mining is going to take place here, regardless of what you do, because the National Assembly told us that, there's an order for this thing to stop.
To stop.
Yes. So we are not in the picture with regards to that order. Whoever made it, we don't know.
So,
yes,
that's where the issue is.
Yes.
Because that's the same information we got.
Yes.
The National Assembly gave an order for Julake to stop mining last week. And on Monday, the police were at the post to protect Julake because they still felt he had the license. And the youths went to the police to say no mining is going to happen. This is where the issue started.
Fatou, I'm not very au fait with the mandate of the National Assembly, but the little I know is the National Assembly Select Committee.
Yes.
It's a body that can call anybody to clarify, public officials.
Yes.
But for them to jump into the arena like they did in this case, I'm not aware of that mandate of theirs.
Yeah.
So how it happened and who sanctioned it, I don't know, but I know it caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And then it is part of the trigger to this situation.
Because
the police were manning that guard post for some time
after
the first incident, but there is no incident whatsoever until this information
came out that the National Assembly said it should stop.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And even if they had the mandate, it should have gone through geology, right?
Yes,
and
geology,
then filtered to. And you never got any letter to this effect?
To that effect, nothing, no letter, no information. I'm just hearing it for the first time. And it's good when things happen, sometimes.
To talk about them,
yes. To talk about them, because I'm hearing a lot, I'm seeing a lot, which is very far from what is, obtained. I saw a lot of lies. People are even saying that I'm related to Julake.
I wanted to know. I wanted to come.
I'm getting to know.
No, I wanted to come to that.
Yes.
So there, because I want you to clarify some of these allegations. There have been a lot of allegations that you personally protected Julake because your sister is married to Julake. That's why you're protecting Julake. You like, this is a family dynasty. Your sister is married, he's your brother-in-law, so you are obliged to protect him.
That's not true. I don't have any sister that is married to Julake. And I don't know of any sister who is marrying, who is currently the wife of Julake. I'm not aware. To be honest with you, I cannot tell you I know Julake beyond 1 or 2 years.
No.
Yes. We've never been close. I think one of the ways that we became close was for this very exercise that we are doing, in Faraba. But Julake has never been a friend, and he's not a relative either.
I think IGP, this National Assembly issue is very important.
Yes.
It's important, new democracy.
Yes.
It's important how different sectors complement each other. Of course, the National Assembly has a big role to play in protecting the people. But when things like this happen, investigators want to know what triggered the issue, how it happened. Yes, the National Assembly information, that's what we got as media personnel, and that's what everyone else got, and that's what the population also got. So for you to tell us that you had never, as the IGP's office, never got that letter to back up, to stop, to cease operation from...
Father, to be honest with you, I don't think there was any letter.
Wow.
Yes, honestly speaking. But then, maybe there could have been, but...
And then when the boys, the youths came to the site and told your men, there's no mining that is supposed to happen here today.
Yes.
And then they become what?
Yeah, from the information we got, is as at the time they came to give the warning, and at the time they came in a group to launch an attack at the guard post, were within the same time.
Yeah.
So there was no time to even reconsider or for the men to find out what is really happening in terms of the activities. But ordinarily, if they gave time, the personnel would have inquired.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have reached my table that, well, there is an instruction somewhere that we should quit this guard post. And we will also consult further to know where the information is coming from. But there was this spontaneity. The time they came to give the warning and the time they launched the attack, according to the information I got, were almost the same time.
It was the same time?
Yes, yes.
And then the reinforcement was sent to Faraba?
Yes, because when the information was received that these people are under attack by the community, they sent reinforcement. Because there was only a guard post that is there. Of course, the guard post, the people that are there are not up to a platoon. They are not up to 15, 16 people. Yeah. So if you are kind of confronted with the kind of that magnitude, definitely you have to send reinforcement. In fact, the enforcement part, I'm delving into the investigation. But
no, but yeah, that is important. Yes,
the reinforcement part actually has to do with more to salvage the people in the guard post, our people who were trapped virtually in the guard post. They were overwhelmed with the crowd. That's the information we got. So, but all these things need to be confirmed, and when the investigation progresses. Yes.
But then what a lot of people said, when the reinforcement came, it resulted to killing people. So many people were injured. Some people were arrested doing their job. For example, a journalist, Pamodu Bojang, was arrested, and then a lot of people believe, because he was one of the activists who was always on the ground to talk about this issue, and it was like he was a target. He was arrested, he was beaten, because a lot of the policemen would have known that guy, because a lot of people know him. He is famous, but he was arrested. He took out his card and showed them that I am a journalist, I was doing my job. He was still arrested, he was tortured. I went to the police station personally to see him. Is that something that...
Fatou, I will disagree with you. I don't think he was targeted. I think it was a random arrest that was done with regards to the people that they believe were participating in the protest.
Yeah.
And then you will agree with me that it's not everybody that knows some of these celebrities or journalists, if you like. So I want to believe whatever they did was done,
but even when he showed his card?
Out of just exercising what they think, is supposed to be their role there. When he took out his card, well, it's a different thing entirely, that he was a journalist.
Yeah.
But you see, you don't know the type of situation we are having.
Yeah.
For 22 years, we are inundated with never-do-wells as part of the PIU. Yeah. You heard of the Green Boys. We have a lot of them. There are people who don't know A from B. Yes. So I think this is the kind of situation we are confronted with. And of course, you cannot say you have to do a purge and send everybody home. So this was what warranted.
But then, IG, that's where a lot of us have issues with you guys, right? 22 years, a lot happened. Yes. We don't want to go back to that.
Yes, yes.
But security reforms.
Yes.
Training.
Yes.
Because what happened...
Actually, if you, I don't know whether you are aware, there's a massive scheme of security sector reform going on. We have a lot of experts on the ground. A lot of policies and strategies are being developed to kind of roll it out. Yeah. But for us, we are not even waiting for that. Right now, as I'm talking to you, we are training PIU officers in batches of 25. I'm volunteering there myself as a lecturer. Okay. And one of the topics that we discuss with them is how to control a riot situation. When I went there, they call it refresher training. I said, no. As far as I'm concerned, this is retraining. Because we are talking about things ordinarily we would not have talked about in those days. We are talking about human rights and policing. Yeah. We are talking about using non-lethal means of quelling a riot. We are talking about the rule of law. We are talking about governance. I said, it's not refresher training. This is retraining. And we were doing that successfully. And our intention is to get all the PIU officers go through that.
Do you believe there might be sabotage as well? A lot of people said from Kanilai to Farato to Tanene, to all these places, wherever there's demonstrations and the PIU are deployed, either people are killed or seriously beaten or tortured. A lot of people said this is a form of sabotage to stain the name of this government. Because, of course, there were so many people who were loyal to the former administration, and they are still in the system. And yet you people tell us, well, we cannot hunt people, we have to take our time, but at the expense of the name of the government, at the expense of you resigning today, IG?
Fatou, we are not seeing the bigger picture. We can just wake up one day and say we don't want them. But these are trained people. You don't want to let them out like that. And of course, you know what I mean. I don't need to elaborate on that. So there's a scheme going on. I think we should allow that scheme to unfold. There's a security sector reform system going on. At the end of the day, they'll do the right sizing and then place people where they think they best fit. I think this will take care of the situation. But I want to disagree with you with regards to the information that anytime the PIU is deployed, people get killed. I don't think, apart from the
people were killed in Kanilai.
Faraba incident.
Faraba.
But I don't think that was not the PIU.
Oh, that was
not the PIU.
Yes.
But we are talking about the PIU.
PIU, yes. Well, so generally, when there's demonstration, somebody died or people are killed.
Yes.
Okay.
For the PIU, I think this is the only incident that I'm aware of. Yes, definitely. Yes.
And also, people said. 3 people, 4 or 5 people are arrested.
Yes.
And a lot of people were deployed, and those 5 people would not be the only people responsible for killing. Why do we just have to pick few people and arrest them and just let everyone else go?
Still, you know, but I think I'll clear the air. What informed our decision to kind of arrest those 5 people has a lot to do with the fact that they are the people that were armed on the ground.
They were the ones that were armed.
They were armed, and then they were the people.
Because a lot of people, let me just come here. In the case of Musa Fati, a lot of people said, oh, you just picked him because he was the the former interior minister's, how do you call it? He was his orderly. That's why people thought he would be a sabotage. So it's good to clear some of this.
Far from that. Fatu, these were the people that were armed on the ground, and then their ammunition is found not to be intact. So meaning they fired shots. So
these were the only people who were armed.
The other people were armed, but their arms were intact.
They were intact. They did not fire. They did not fire. Yes. So these people were.
Yeah, we focus on these people because Musa Fati is the commander on the ground for that operation. As a supervisor, another person is there. And then you have the others who were armed, and it happened that these are the people that among the ammunitions they have, we found out that there are missing bullets. Yes.
Okay.
So of course.
So all the bullets were intact.
They are not saying
they were the ones who killed.
They killed because
they are missing.
Were also firing warning shots. The investigation will also reveal whether the bullets that were fired during the warning shots or whether they were fired on people. Of course, the warning shot is normally shot on. Something like that. Yes. So this is it. We are not witch hunting anybody. Whatever step we take is well informed by what we stumble on. Yes, in the ground.
I still come back to the training. When we went to the, you are a trained professional, IG. Yes. Anybody who knows you, who knows your resume, of course, you're a champion of human rights and respecting people's rights and dignity. I can say that anywhere, any day, anytime. I know you personally. And then,
but throughout my police career, I've never set my arm on anybody. I've never sanctioned the beating of any person. I've never beaten anybody in my life as a policeman. Neither did I sanction any and I also make sure in my presence, whenever somebody is wronged, I make sure I address it there and then. That has been me.
Yep, a lot of people attested to that, and that's why I wanted to come to this. When you lead men who, most of whom have no regard for the rule of law, most of whom don't even understand what it means to give people their rights. When we visited the journalist Pamodu to show solidarity, this was around 1 o'clock at the police station. When he was questioned, he should have been allowed a lawyer. His lawyer could have been present. It was disheartening for me. It would have been somebody, they would have recorded those scenes. When the lawyer came and they were just seriously confrontational with the lawyer, would not even allow him to be where his client was. Some of those issues, IGP, what's the status of our police station, our policemen right now?
Yeah, Fatou, these are some of the issues that
and these were senior police officers
that we are contending with. You know, the caliber of some of our officers.
Yeah.
You know, I think it could be better actually. I think that has a lot towards the lack of standard criteria even for entrance. The little things that we did when I became IG was to come up with a promotional policy, and also came up with a recruitment policy, which was never there. And the recruitment policy will narrow you know, down to the fact that officers who are what they are sought, officers who are what it takes, are the ones we are going to get in the police. But in those days, you know, if you have your son or your daughter who is not very good in school, or who has failed all his courses, or who is wayward, you say, let's take the person to the police. I said that must stop. We should have a standard entrance requirement, and then that's it. We were able to do it, and we've signed it. It's now a policy in the Gambia Police Force, which we are going to adopt. Come the next enlistment, if you don't fall into the criteria where we can take you, we will not take you on board, regardless of whose intervention it is. So I'm not there, but I know the officers on the ground will make sure that that is what happens. Because it's not my personal decision, it was a team decision, and the members of the team are all there. They were all committed to that process. And I know they will want to see that process, you know, go from strength to strength. Yes.
And before we go to what's next for IGP, but when this happened, have you spoken to the president?
Of course, we do consult with the president now and again. Yes. So, by virtue of my job, of course, you will expect me to be, you know, especially during these trying times. Yes. Of course, you will be.
Was he mad? Did he force you to resign? You know, because a lot of people said maybe he forced you out and you had to do the resignation. But no. Did he force you?
He never forced me to resign. I think he was very understanding with regards to this decision, but I was not forced to resign. It's a very difficult moment for him. We kind of pity with his situation, because as for him also, he said this is the first time in his career as the president of this country that you know, he is in the situation he is the day we met him. Yes. And you see, this goes a long way to tell us that definitely this must not be condoned, and anything that could be done to mitigate that situation of his, we should do it. And this is one of the reasons that informed my decision to resign. And
a lot of people applauded you for taking this bold decision. This is not Gambian. Our neighbors, Senegal here, will resign if something, they will take responsibility. In fact, before that, when I interviewed the Interior Minister, and when you released a statement saying you did not order, and a lot of people say, oh, see, this is the Gambian, they are running away from responsibility. They are running away from responsibility. And all of a sudden, in 24 hours, we saw you resigned. This is not Gambian. And a lot of people applauded you for. This is the new breed of Gambians we're looking for, even though it's a painful decision for some people. But it seems like this is the new Gambia we're looking for. And setting an example, I think this is the first public officials to openly resign and take responsibility for things under his watch. Fatou, from the first day that we were called on a consultation with regards to this issue, I made an opening statement that I'm taking full responsibility of the action that happened. Yes. And I'm standing by that up to today. You know, not because I was actively participating, but because it's my men who were found wanting. And that's it. That's the spirit. So, that's the spirit. And what's left of our police? What's the Gambia Police Force, IG? Gambia Police Force, there are a lot of people. I think there will be continuity. I had a meeting before I left today. I was given assurance that all the things that we put in place, you know, will be worked on. And then new things will be added to it. You know, Gambia Police Force, we are inundated, you know. People don't know, but, you know, we have a lot of constraints. No, what I mean is we have a lot of intelligent officers, yes, who, if given the kind of support they can take the force to a higher height. Our greatest challenge is equipment. Yes.
equipments and facilities for the police.
Wow.
You know, I think if, you know, our capacities are looked into in that regard, I think it will go a long way in taking care of some of the problems that we are facing. I know it will come. Government has showed a lot of commitment. You know, these things, you know, they come, but, you know, they have to take some time. Like the security sector reform thing I mentioned, I think it has a lot of packages, which also includes the supply of logistics. Yes, yes. We have been a part of a lot of efforts to come up with immediate needs. I know government is doing a lot to get those needs to the police. Yes.
Wow. And finally, what's next for you? What's next?
Well, I think I just want to have a cooling off period.
Oh, before you even go there, I want to come to social media.
Yes.
Someone I spoke to the how do you call it, David, the PRO, and he tells me the challenge is huge. That, you know, with this newfound democracy and people out there, the police are being scrutinized because they are at the forefront of everything. There have been a lot of issues from Tanene to Faraba, to, like, all of this. I remember when I had an interview with you and I said, we don't see any of these investigative reports. And then obviously, because there are so many issues, the new Gambia has brought along so many issues. People are aware of their rights, people speak up as they wish, and there's so many issues. How do you tackle all these individual issues, single, day by day? How do you handle these things?
Yes, that's why we are the Gambia Police Force. I think it's important that people know that these are the things we are contending with little or no resources. I think we deserve all commendation, given the constraints and the type of environment we find ourselves working in. I told you here, we found ourselves being mediators and interveners in times of trouble. We are overlapping in our activities, all because we want peace and tranquility to prevail. Yes, as police officers, the last thing we would want is to see trouble. That means more job for us. So whatever we can do to avoid the trouble becomes also part of our job. They call it problem-solving policing, and we are doing that. That was even what informed our decision to call the Faraba people, the community, to have a discussion with them. It's cheaper than you know, trying to do away with a situation, right? A situation like what happened. It was unfortunate that regardless of that meeting, that incident happened. But then it would have been better for that incident to have been averted. And I think the meeting that we had was fruitful in the sense that after the meeting people, nothing serious came up until there was an external intervening factor.
That was the information coming from there. Wow. Finally, what's next? That was going to be my last question.
Yes, Fatou, you know that I'm a qualified lawyer.
Yes.
Although I've been in the system all my life, I've been working for government. I've never ventured into private practice. I was in government and I was within the UN system. I spent 4 years. 4 years in the UN system. The UN system on secondment at a reasonably high level. I was a P4, professional level. As a civilian expert. I think there could be a lot of opportunities out there. Yes. Like I said, I want to have a cooling off period and then refocus and think of what I'm doing. Of course, I have some businesses besides even my qualification as a lawyer. I have some small businesses around. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I know there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do.
It's high time when now start being self-employed.
Time to go back to...
We get to know what it looks like or feels like.
Wow. Thank you so much, IGP Kinteh, and thank you for doing the honorable thing. It's so unfortunate, but we wish you all the best, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And this brings us to the end of this interview. We want to thank the IG for giving us the opportunity to talk to him when the news just broke up. We called him and he said, yes, I'm on my way to the house, just pass by. Thank you. He's always been accessible, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And we hope something like this never happens in the Gambia. This is a country that belongs to all of us.
Definitely.
And obviously the ultimate goal was to make sure there was peace. There was peace, and that's the role the police also play, different from enforcing law, but also to do community policing. And I hope going forward there will be more training and there will be more support given to the Gambian police force to be able to protect the lives and citizens of the Gambians. Thank you and good night to you all.